Hey everyone, Eric with a K here. I thought I'd do a little bit of a different video today since our life is a little bit different as of recently. So on this particular day, we had to head over to our other property for the insurance inspector to come. And so I had a few minutes to just fold some towels. So I just did that quickly because there was so much work that needed to be done inside of our house. I knew that laundry would not be a priority once we got back home. This is Roxy. She put the rocks in Roxdoll, and she was incredibly sick for about 2 days, and we had to take her to the emergency vet, and they did x-rays and blood work and found out, well, it was either her food or because she ate a chunk of bed, but she was pooping out blood consistently. This is Dolly. She put the doll in Roxdoll, and she got incredibly sick right after her sister got better, and so that's why we thought it was probably the food that they were eating. So we stopped giving it to them, called the vet, let them know, and they gave us a prescription to stop diarrhea, and it's been working, so that's great. If you've been on my channel since the beginning, you've probably noticed that I scaled back a lot on things that I share on the internet. I used to love sharing every nook and cranny of our life because I was just so happy and proud and excited, and it just kind of burned us every time. And so I stopped sharing a lot of the ins and outs of our relationship and started sharing more things that I just thought would be valuable to people, like medical experiences and things like that, things that I was comfortable sharing because I knew it would help other people. And I just stopped sharing or oversharing our personal life. And so there's really no trace of what goes on in our lives anymore because we've become so incredibly private and to ourselves. And that's where this vlog comes in, because if you would have told me in 2016 when we started construction on our house that we would have to redo a lot of it, almost half of the house, I would have said you were crazy. That wouldn't make any sense. But here we are, started construction in 2016, finished it in 2019, and we are redoing a lot of it. But now we're working with the knowledge that we have, and it's consuming a lot of our time, and that's why I thought, let me just film some behind the scenes so that you could understand why I don't have any other content to share with you, because this has been taking up so much of our time. And honestly, we're trying to enjoy the process as much as possible. As much as we're trying to enjoy the process, painting a ceiling is not an enjoyable task, but doing the same color throughout makes it much better. And make sure if you're painting a ceiling, you wear glasses because it will get on your contacts. This is my husband after his work hours, taking out the fan and chandelier, and then the next day my husband had to be in the office. So usually the night before we prepare his lunch and breakfast, and we always do overnight oats, and that's what we're doing here. I had planned to have this be a video on doing our garden and so showing everybody the setup, but we are nowhere near that, and I think that's okay because we just had other things that took priority. And while I can't wait to get our garden up and going, we're just appreciating what we are doing right now. This is where we planted our garden last year. We had a ton of tomato plants. We live in New York and they just totally are invasive, but we love it. And then here are some plants that we planted behind our pool filter because it's a really hard area to mow back there, and I can't wait to show you how much they've grown just in the course of this vlog. Found this little guy when I was cleaning up some leaves, and I thought I'd share him with you. I didn't know at the time, but he actually needs to be in like the leaves to breathe, basically. And here we are the next day, and I am sanding down the compound that I put on the ceiling. This is where the chandelier was like hanging, not the actual like electrical place, but you know, like sometimes the wire or the cord or the chain, it hangs on the ceiling, and this is where that was. So I wanted to make sure that we smoothed that out before we painted. I highly recommend doing the same color ceiling as your walls. It makes everything so much easier. You definitely need to do 2 coats of paint, especially if you're doing the ceiling, because the light hits it really weird and you can see like every error, which is what my husband was pointing out. So the first time that I did this, it was like kind of chaotic painting, And the second time I did it, I just kind of tried to keep my brush going, or the roller, in the same strokes when I did the ceiling, so that everything looked uniform when the lights hit it, or when the natural light hit it. We didn't get, like, this obviously isn't a ceiling paint, it was just the same wall paint, and we weren't sure what we were supposed to get, so we got satin. I'm not even sure, you guys could leave it down below. Is matte better? I'm not sure. If you wanted to do like a cohesive wall to ceiling, we've never done, this is the first time we're doing the ceiling the same color. So anyway, doing the second coat was so much easier than the first coat, and I literally hate doing second coats, but it was so necessary and made everything look so much better. I don't know if the next thing that I'm going to say is something that will get me put on a list, but I have ADHD, and working out is something that I need to do for my mental health. Because of my ADHD, I get very restless and very antsy if I don't work out, and we haven't been able to work out in a very long time because we've been consumed by this house construction. Doing this has helped tremendously, like occupying myself, rolling paint, doing the edging, everything like that has just been so helpful for my ADHD. Decided we wanted to do an accent wall in orange, and I really wish that I had the audio for, I'm not gonna do it, I was just thinking about it, girl, I'm not gonna do it. I did it. Every time I see this wall, I think about that audio, and I love it. We saw a bumblebee outside. We have a lot of them, and our dog Dolly ran up to it and basically headbutted it into the ground and really like messed it up. And so we tried to give it some sugar water to bring it back to health, and then Dolly also almost ate a titmouse bird, and we called wildlife to try to help it, and we couldn't get in touch with anybody, and so we put it in a safe spot outside. We did not touch it because of bird flu that's going around. We used gloves to transport it, and we put it in under like a bush so that it's safe from predators. And when we went back to look, it was gone, and there were no like feathers or anything that looked like it was taken. I just think it kind of got itself back, so we were really happy about that. In the midst of everything we had going on, we took some time to pay our respects to a friend who had passed. We had some really great food. We got beautiful pictures of the sun setting, and we also collected some more rocks to add to our rock garden. We made some chocolate chip, protein, and blueberry muffins, made a delicious Mediterranean pasta. We also participated in a paint night, and we had an absolute blast. And here is my husband's painting next to my painting, and we also got to see this awesome house castle on the way home. No, on the way there. And then here is how much our plants have grown. I had said before, like, I can't wait to show you how much they've grown, and here they are, our little babies, and we absolutely love them, and so do the bumblebees, which we really love too. Here's our dandelions. They're everywhere, and I'm obsessed. I can't wait to blow more seeds all over my backyard. My only issue is that we have some spots that are high grass, and our dogs eat the high grass. The rest of our backyard is clover, just hasn't come in yet, and I don't want to mow over our dandelions. And you know, clover, you really don't have to mow that often. So I have to weed whack, and I just haven't gotten around to doing that. I have to go around my property and weed whack so that I don't disrupt our beautiful dandelions, because I love them. We also love unearthing new rocks in our backyard. Our backyard is almost like a construction site at this point, because we had a contractor on the property that was highly recommended from a family friend, and the guy robbed us blind. And so we're still trying to claw our way out of it, but in the meantime, we are appreciating the fact that we have rock everywhere in our backyard. And whenever we see pretty rocks, we pick them up and we put them in the rock garden over here, which obviously needs tending to. We also have a rock garden in the house. It needs tending to. We just haven't been able to do anything outside because we've been so focused on the inside of the house. But no complaints. We love rocks. We love finding them. We love everything about rocks. We're a rock family. And if you're wondering about my small businesses, reselling on Poshmark, or my cosmetic line on Etsy, we are still up and running. I don't know what tariffs are going to be doing to Rockstyle, but I will keep everybody posted. Rockstyle is proudly made in the USA, but we do source materials. And guys, please remember, we are not North Korea. We do not only deal with American made. That is a slippery slope. And so some of our things are sourced, but we are made in America. Also, this distilled water I had to get because when we did our paint night, Dolly had diarrhea all over the house when we came home, so we have to steam our bathroom floors that are tile. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this oversharing of everything, and I love you all so much, and I hope to see you guys next time. Let me know if you like this kind of style of video or if you like the oversharing aspect of it. All right, love you guys. Bye.